Hi guys, so this video was taken over 2 separate days. I wasn't really happy with the footage of the first video. I will insert clips of it. But basically I came in here to, I guess it would be my playroom. It's where my grandkids come in and it's where I have my 2 Fabrikor cabinets. And I do also have some lovely Hoya in the window. I wanted to do a video of my cleaning my Fabrikor cabinets, but the footage was actually terrible. So they have been cleaned. Now I'm going to go through all the plants that are in my cabinet. I want to show you what real life looks like. So my grandkids were here and this is their room and it is totaled. This is my little office. This is where I do all my editing. It's an old desk that I bought. And here are my 2 Fabrikor cabinets. So my task today is to, number 1, tidy up this room, and number 2, tackle my 2 cabinets. Okay, everything back to normal. Toys all tidied away. I am actually putting some downstairs because it's a bit crazy in here. Hi guys, my name is Grania and this is my channel Jungle Flowers Canada. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to take the plants out of the cabinets so that I can show you. I will give you an overview of the cabinets when we're finished. So just a quick overview. There is the first cabinet. Let's empty this one out. So you have seen some of these recently. So the ones that I've shown you before, we won't spend too much time on, but I still want to show them to you because I want you to know what I have in this particular cabinet. So we saw this last week or the week before. I can't remember which video is which now. This is the Hoya erythrina and I actually need to water her again. So we did plant up some cuttings of this recently. You can see actually there's a new leaf there and you can see that it's much redder than the others, so it is sun stressing nicely. So this here is my philodendron strawberry shake and I bought this as a 1-leaf cutting. Not off Paula, believe it or not. I do buy off other plant sellers. It came with this leaf, which is really beautiful. Now I had it just out in my room and it really wasn't doing anything. So I stuck her in my Fabrikor cabinet and you can see she's doing so much better after being put into the cabinet. This is a new leaf. Very pretty, isn't it? It is actually a philodendron that I love and I'm delighted to have it. I love the fact that it's stable and it's not like the Pink Princess. Next up we have the Hoya Nicholsonii New Guinea Ghost. Now this is definitely one of my favorites. And if you watched my video where I had a very long tendril and lots of growth and I chopped it up and I managed to kill the majority of those cuttings. I do not know what I was doing. So you can see she's just finally starting to take off again. And this is a new leaf. And if you look closely, where is it? There is another new leaf there. And I love the back of it. Take a look at the back of the leaf. Isn't it just gorgeous? The back of the leaf is nearly as interesting as the front. I'm so happy that this is finally taking off because I really was getting worried that I wasn't going to be able to maintain a plant of this, and it is, as I say, one of my favorites. I showed you these last week, the cuttings of my mint coin, and they're very happy. They're in one of my self-watering DIY plant pots and I have it in the cabinet. Hopefully we'll get roots on them soon. This, I took this cutting, I think this is a tengamus, but of course I can't quite remember. It is putting out a new growth point and we'll see what happens with it as it grows, but I do think it is a tengamus. Paula and I actually imported an achi at the same time. This is hers and mine is slightly different. And this is the thing about these plants that come from Indonesia and places like that. There can be slight variation in the variety of the plant. This is actually a new leaf it put out and you can see it's a lovely big leafed plant. My leaves are not as big. I will show you the one I imported maybe in an upcoming video. This is my linearis. I showed you this about a week or so ago. So I now have this in my Fabrikor cabinet. I have treated these leaves. These are my Hoya AH074 and These were the leaves that were damaged. I treated them with sulfur and I treated them with alcohol, and actually they're feeling a little limp. I need to actually water them. I was hoping that I could root these up. I think I know why. I had holes in the sides of this. I need to put them into a solid container so that there's enough water in it. The water only fills up to here, and I'm going to leave that out. I'm going to sort that out today. This here, guys, I'm going to have to get you the name of. I can't remember the name of it, but I just love it. I don't have it that long. Paula gave it to me. It was a 1-leaf cutting, and it's obviously loving its new life. And you can see there's some sun stressing on the leaves. Next up is my silver dollar. Now my silver dollar is taking its sweet time, but it did put out these 2 new leaves. So I decided to take a cutting of them and reroot them, hoping that I will stimulate some more growth. So Paula and I bought this between us, I would say nearly a year ago, and it really did nothing. It took the longest time before Paula was able to take a cutting of it. So finally it put out a new leaf, and it had a big long tendril, and I had it in my cabinet for the longest time before it put out these 2 new little leaves. So I actually see a new little growth point coming there. Can you see it? So I'm excited for this to grow into a big plant. What have we got back here? So I think I showed you this. This is the Hoya Sulawesiana. My eyesight is bad today. Some days are worse than others. And I love the veining on this leaf. It's such a solid, thick leaf. Now she's curling over, but I think that's got more to do with the fact that she's probably crowded in the cabinet. And this was a cutting of it too, and that has obviously died. Now there is a new growth point coming there. I was contemplating cutting this and making a new cutting, but I don't know if you can see there is a new growth point coming there, so I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to leave it for the moment, and maybe when it puts out more leaves I will take another cutting of this. I have 2 cuttings in my greenhouse, but they are very, very small and I'm struggling to keep them in water, but I hope that they will root and I can put them all in this together. I've spoken about this a few times, and I spoke about it I think last week, and I told you that she was doing absolutely nothing, but this is the Hoya Argentea Princess, and she is a stunner. It's the same 2-leaf cutting that Paula and I bought many, many, many months ago. I have gotten 3 growths from her and they've all been reverted. So I just keep cutting her back, but now I have a new growth point. Do you see it there? So fingers crossed they come out variegated and they don't come out like the previous ones, which were all Nova Ghosts. But I do think it's lovely. Like, the leaves are very healthy. She seems to be happy. She just won't give me variegated leaves, and I think this is quite common. So apparently the first leaf that comes out can be silver, and then after that you get the variegated leaves. So I tried that. I let the last one grow till I had like 3 or 4 sets of leaves, and all of them were silver. So that's when I decided to cut it back again. I was worried that I wouldn't get another growth point because it did take a long time. Just quickly, I showed you this last week. Oh, it actually needs to be watered. Parviflora Splash. We sent some of that to Steph. This is Vitellinoides. Look, isn't she lovely? She also fell last night. So when I was cleaning the cabinets, I put in some new lights, and I was too lazy to take the plants off the top shelf, and the shelf fell over and I got pollen everywhere. So I mentioned in my last video that I was going to take my soup containers, put a little band-aid on the bottom and spray it white. So that's what I did here. I'm not 100% happy with the finish, but in the meantime, while I'm waiting for new pots, it's working fine. Prior to this, it just always looked dirty. You could just always see the black in the bottom of the pot. So I thought this will do, certainly in a pinch. And last but not least, we have the Hoya Wilburgraves China. Shown you this a couple of times, probably too many times, but seems it's in the cabinet. We'll show it to you again. We trellised it last week, and these are 2 new leaves that came out after I trellised it, which is encouraging. Day 3. This is the longest video I've ever taken to record. So So I finished the first cabinet and I was tempted just to leave it at that, but the video was too short. So I decided we would move on and tackle cabinet number 2. This is going to be fun. I thought this was the same as the small pots. So you can see it is the same style, but it's a much bigger pot. So I decided to pot up 3 cuttings that I'm really not sure what they are. I have to ask Paula. I do know what this is, but I can't think of the name of it right now. I've had it before and mine flowered. The flower is spectacular on it, but I lost it. It got root rot and it died. And these 2 are gorgeous. This one here is so thick. It's gorgeous, like really, really thick. Wow, I'm not sure what it is. Are they the same? No, they're not exactly the same. So I will ask Paula, does she know what these are? Or you know what, I could have got them from Tony from Quirky Lemon. So I'm not 100% sure what these are, guys, and if I can't tell you, I apologize, but I decided I would pot the 3 of them up together. They were just in small little like Dixie cup type things. And I do this sometimes when I have like single cuttings of plants that I'm not 100% sure what they are. And for some interest, I pot them all up together. This we saw, I think, last week. This is my Hoya Rhyme. Just to give you another quick little view of her. Let's hope she's focusing. Really beautiful. We trellised her last week. And actually I need to water all these again. It just shows you when they're in the cabinets, they definitely dry out so much quicker. This here is the Hoya Grey Ghost. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see whether this is focusing or not. I better go get my glasses. So this is in perlite, and I actually just bought some new pots. I couldn't get those square ones, but I did find another round one that has a little indicator on it, which will do, they'll do perfectly fine. I'm going to pot this up tomorrow. So this is the Hoya Caudata Sumatra, and I did pot this into this pot in a recent video, and you can see she is doing lovely. She has put out this lovely long tendril, and I don't see, oh I do see there is a growth, there is a new leaf coming there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. All right, what have we here? This is the Hoya Fungii, and I got this as a 1-leaf cutting off my friend Tammy, and it actually died away, so it dropped all of its leaves, and I just said I'll leave it, and the leaves came back. That's not typical with Hoya. Usually if they lose all their leaves, like you're done, that's it, they're all gone. But for some reason this put out a new growth point and thankfully regrew. So I think this is such a pretty plant, and this is one that I'm going to transplant into the new pots that I just bought. So the Hoya Fungii. Here we have the Hoya Pachysclada. Okay, this, I've had this for the longest time and it's still not rooted. Can you see? Let me see, can I get it to focus on here? It still isn't rooted. So I think possibly I am not keeping it wet enough. The leaf is firm, like the leaf is not dying or seem to be suffering in any way. So I will, I think, put this out in my kitchen. I'm more likely to keep the ones in my kitchen watered than I am the ones in my cabinet. I'm like 99% sure this has spider mites because you can see the damage there. We have the knobbly growth on it, so I am treating this with sulfur. So here we have the Bahoy, the Hoya Bahoy, and I love this. I've had it for quite a while and it hasn't really done very much for me. I have treated it with sulfur, but she is taking her sweet time, and I'm not sure, I'm sure she's rooted. Yes, she's well rooted, so I think I might transfer her into one of the pots as well. Nice and firm, very, very thick. Oh, it's gorgeous. Beautiful. The Hoya Bahoy. This here is the Hoya Flagellata. Can you see the leaves? Now, I've kind of struggled with her. And I might just transfer her. Like, this leaf actually is quite limp. These ones, the older leaves, are still quite firm. But I think I'm going to transfer her into one of those white pots as well. I have her in my DIY self-watering pot here. But I think I'm going to try and get most of them out of these pots now. Here we have the Hoya Malaysia. And this is gorgeous. So this is another one that Paula and I bought together. And I have already given Paula a cutting of it. So she has a beautiful leaf, doesn't she? And we bought her actually at a botanical fair. And she was putting out a new growth point there, but it seems like it has died away. I just broke a leaf. Silly, and it's a beautiful leaf, look. I have to stop being so rough with them. Oh, don't you just kick yourself when you do that. This here is the Hoya Paula that Paula gave me. So she gave this to me as just one leaf, and you can see I have 2 leaves on it now. I do need to move it to a bigger pot because it's very, very dry. Bone dry. These little ones dry out very fast in the cabinets. These are cuttings, I think, of my Hoya Lacanosa Silver, I think. This was not in the substrate properly. So this needs a bit of attention. These are just cuttings of my plant in my kitchen. Next up we have my Hoya Undulata. So this has been on a journey. This came as quite a big plant. I had a lot of cuttings of it. I lost all of the cuttings except for this one. Then it got mealybugs and I wasn't sure if it was going to survive. I just had 1 leaf on it. So I was able to thankfully get the mealybugs under control, and now you can see she has put out 2 new leaves. So the Hoya Undulata. I love this plant, and I can't believe I still have a cutting of it because it is a tricky one. Here we just saw this last week, my Hoya Nova Ghost. We won't spend too much time on it because we did see her and we trellised her last week. I do have a cutting to add into her. You've seen this baby, the Hoya Coriaceae. So was this just a 1-leaf cutting when I showed her to you first? Now she has, what, 5 leaves? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leaves. Now she has 6 leaves. And she has 2 new baby leaves on that cutting. And there is a new growth point starting on this cutting. So this is a fast grower. Now obviously this is the most spectacular leaf, so I'm hoping that following this I'm going to get much more silver on the leaves. The Hoya Coriaceae Silver. So this is previously Vitellinoides, and I think I have shown this to you before, and I now have her trellised. She is a fantastic grower. I imported this from Thailand, from Ahoya. They do have beautiful Hoyas. If you are looking to import from somebody, I would recommend them. You can see it's pretty. This is Hoya, I think it's called SP Germany. So the Hoya Germany, and it is beautiful. Again, this was an import. I brought this in from Ahoya in Thailand. And that I think was actually her original leaf. So this leaf is sun stressing, which is amazing. I didn't realize this sun stressed. I noticed the leaves on this are curling, and I'm not sure what that is about, but I still love it. It's very pretty on this trellis. Let's look at this leaf again, the Hoya SP Germany. Pretty cute, eh? Last but not least, I know this has been reclassified. Pot of Gold, is it now called Latifolia Pot of Gold? I'm not sure. I'm going to look up the name and I will put it on the screen. And again, this is one that's going to get put into my new pots. I'm trying to get ahead of myself, but I didn't manage it this week because today is Thursday and this is going to go out tomorrow. And I did start this video probably on Monday, and today's Thursday and I'm only getting it finished now. With that said, this is a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you watched until the end, don't forget to put the green heart emoji in the comments. And thank you so much for giving me time out of your busy day. You take care and see you next week.